Welcome to another episode of Hustle Talks. Today, I'm so excited. We have one of my mentors, one of my close friends, one of my brothers, and today he's just gonna shut shit down, okay? I wanna welcome to Hustle Talks, Austin GODSEY.
That's crazy intro, bro. So, you've been going around the world. You're at how many countries now?
About 32.
32 countries. You made...
Not enough.
Not enough. You made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars now.
Something like that, yeah.
Alright?
Millions of double cheeseburgers. Vegan double cheeseburgers.
Vegan double cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
But it's not always been like that, right? We brought you onto the show because we know how great you are at what you do, but there's been some serious hustle that's gone into this, right? And it's no joke. So, what were things like, say, 5 years ago?
Yeah. So I grew up in a really small town right outside Philadelphia in America. It's called Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and a lot of people know it for like Amish people.
Okay.
So people will be like, Amish Mafia. I'm like, no, we're not pitchforking. We're coming in haystacks. But I grew up in the inner city. I went to 13 schools in 12 years. I think that really put me in a position of, one of the quotes I live by is, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Really pushing past those fears or those things you don't want to do. 5 years ago, to get to it, I was in a pretty dark place in life. The day that I got released from jail, I actually heard about network marketing. I got introduced to my company. I had 5 warrants for my arrest. I was a street pharmacist, I guess you could say. I was living in my 2001 1.9 turbo Volvo. My girlfriend was 8 months pregnant. I had no money, I had no job. The best jobs I ever had was working at McDonald's, making like $7.25 an hour. I worked at Outback Steakhouse as a dishwasher. I was never better than any job I ever had. It was just that I knew it was a stepping stone to the next point in life. So I was just grateful to even have a job in this economy. So it was pretty bad. I just knew that it wasn't the end point. When I figured out that my son was being born, that's when the switch really hit for me to know that, man, I really need to get my shit together. Yeah. So 5 years ago, homeless, living in my car, I found entrepreneurship. And one thing my mentor told me, he said, look, the 2 most important days of your life are the day that you're born and the day that you figure out why. And I think that the day that I found out that I was having a child was one of the days that I figured out why I was here. And I think everyone needs to have that kind of breaking moment. Yeah. That defining moment of why they're doing something bigger than themselves. So, 5 years ago was not good. I never had any social media. I never had any Instagram, any Facebook, any YouTube. I had never made more than maybe $15,000, $20,000 per year my whole life legally. It was just it was a difficult time.
There's been some. I mean, you've come from a place where I like to call it the slingshot effect, where you were pulled back. Right, but would you say you were pulled back because of your own doing, or that was the universe, that was life, or you were born into that, or was it because of the choices you made?
It was the choices I made. I mean, if you're born broke, that's not your fault. If you die broke, that's your fault. Okay. So I wasn't born into poverty, but I would say I wasn't born rich. I would say I was born a little bit below middle class. I watched my mom struggle financially. That was a big, why for me. She was a single mom my entire life. I was on my own since I was like really 7 years old. Yeah. For sure. I was actually homeless when I was like 15, 16 years old. Crazy. But to answer more of your question, when you say did you put yourself in that position, was the universe? I feel like whatever you believe in, whatever religion, this, that, universe, God, the other. I truly believe, this is my own personal opinion, take it for what it is, but I believe that God, the universe, they put the strongest warriors through hell to get to heaven. And I feel like for me, it was always a test. The universe was always testing me to see what I could handle. So I feel like it was always breaking barriers of my ego and always hitting me in a point where I had to learn from things. Whenever people go through, we hear people be like, yo, that guy took an L, right? The big meme in like, what was it, 2015, 2016 of the Drake? Remember Drake was like handing the L, right? Yeah. And people take L's, right? Losses. But what was a really big defining moment for me was when I figured out how I could transition from taking L's and losses and taking them and as learning lessons. So everything I went through, whether it's being jumped, being in jail, going through my trials and tribulations, you know, things in the business, entrepreneurship. It was always me reflecting on myself. And what most people do is they look at things and they'll point fingers. We live in such a society where when things go wrong, people will just look immediately, who can they point the finger to take the blame off themselves?
Yeah.
And I used to do that for years. It was always like, whose fault is it? It's not my fault, where I am in life. But every decision that you've made up to this point is a effect and a result of where you are now. Your bank account, your income, your lifestyle, your house, your car, your girlfriend, everything is a result of you. So, and it's actually kind of hard for me sometimes when annoying shit happens in my life, like the littlest things or the biggest things, I literally have to step aside, I have to calm myself, calm my reptilian brain from going back to flipping out or flipping the switch, and I'll be like, look, where could I have improved better? This employee did something dumb today, but I hired that employee. And I allowed that. Or this happened and I'm always looking at how I'm the man to blame, and when it comes to the credit, I'm always looking at how I can give that credit and not take that credit. So yeah, I think the universe will always test you, and your test will be your testimony, because we don't want to watch a movie or read a book where there's no up and then boom, right?
Yeah.
So
There's been there's a lot of controversy around sort of the industry that you're in, but of course you've been smart about it. I know that you've been smart about it. It's not the only thing that you've done. You've branched out and did other things, which we'll get onto, but you're part of an industry which is it's very bittersweet. It's very much like Marmite. It's spoken about very differently in different parts of the world, and we wanna test that a bit, because we wanna you know I mean we rarely get someone in the industry who's willing to talk about the industry, and that's the industry of network marketing.
yeah, it's a big
it's a big, there's a lot of stigma around it, right? And sort of we want to use this opportunity, because we've got you here, to sort of answer some of the things why certain things exist. So Asim's got a few facts and figures that he dug up upon my request. So let's hit a few jabs, right? And let's see if you can sort of come back swinging.
Throw the jabs.
So 99% of, I searched the fact and it said 99% of network marketers actually fail or lose money. What do you think about it? Like, what do you think's wrong, right and wrong about the industry, and what do you think needs to be changed for it to get a better stigma and for everyone to really understand that how network marketing really is?
Yeah, so I'll answer the first question, then maybe I'll have you repeat the second one. So the first thing you were asking, okay, so you're saying that 99% of people fail or quit network marketing. Absolutely. Let's go into it. So, 96% of people who get a real estate license never even sell a house. In America, I don't know how it is in UK, maybe a little different, but in America now, our divorce rate for marriages are now, I think, like 62%, bro. It's terrible. And if you look at, I was reading an article the other year. It was about high school basketball and professional, like how high school players transcend to professional players. And I think it was saying that there was about 550,000 high school basketball players in America. And then from that, about 19,000 go to the NCAA in Division 1, 2, and 3. And then from that, about 0.02% go to the actual league. So let's just be real. I hate participation trophies. It's bullshit. When I play with my son in board games, I don't let him win. No, bro. And he'll cry. He'll cry a fit. And it's like, I hate how people baby and try to, get around and just give a 3rd place or 5th place trophy. Call it what it is. Survival of the fittest. If you look at how our world has evolved, it's always the ones who are willing to adapt are the ones who survive. And I think that most people aren't willing to adapt. They're not willing to change. And what's the one quote, bro, that says when the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change, that's when you'll change. So I think for most people, 99% of people fail. Let's look at the statistics. Even the industry that I'm in, the financial industry, $5 trillion a day industry, I'm not going to go into it, but people should not be doing that shit, bro. 21 years. Life is 90% mindset. Call it what I don't care. I don't care about the how, the what. It's physically impossible to be 2 times the IQ of another human being that doesn't have less chromosomes or Down syndrome, right? So how does someone like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Cuban, how do these Kylie Jenner, people make fun of the Jenners, people make fun of the Kardashians, and it's funny to me because I'm thinking, I may not like them and agree with them and rock with them, but what can I take from these people that they've done right? And if you look at their income, bro. Kylie's what, 21, 22 years old? She's about to be a billionaire, bro.
Yeah.
Look at most teenagers and 21-year-olds in America or all over the world. How is her income thousands and millions of times more than their income? Is she that much smart? No. It's just that it comes down to really, what are you willing to adapt and change? And I think most people, what the effect is their mindset. I think people really have that limiting belief level. And I talked about it at the event yesterday. There's two types of mindsets: the employee mindset, the entrepreneur mindset. And I think in entrepreneurs, and people say, well, I'm not a salesman. Everybody in the world's a salesman, bro. If you work a job, you have to sell the person hiring you on why you were good enough to work there. If you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, or wife, you had to sell that person on why you were a good enough person to be with them. So I think that's number one, is that people have a limiting belief of entrepreneur mindset is where there's risk, there's no guarantee, and you still do it anyways. Employee mindset is there's a guarantee you're going to get paid. If you work, you pay, you work, you pay, you work, you paid. So I think that most people, when they come into this industry, they don't have the mindset. And that's why I love this industry. As Anthony Robbins says, he says, don't focus on becoming a person of success, focus on becoming a person of value, and the money will just attract to you. I believe that. I think money is just a result of, number one, how many lives you change. I fucking love money because, number one, it's a result of how many lives you've changed, and number two, how much value do you offer to the marketplace? If you put value out there in the world, you don't have to be in LA, New York. Why live in a little town? I don't care where you live. It's 2019, bro. It doesn't matter. Facebook was built in a dorm room in Boston, bro. It doesn't matter where you live. It's not like that anymore. So if you offer value and you're changing lives, that's the first answer to the first question. To follow up, what was the second thing you said?
What's right about network marketing? What's wrong about
the
it?
Stigma.
How could it be changed?
How can we change? So real quick, I think that the overhype and the over-exaggeration, I think that most people, they overhype, they exaggerate, and they just go out there and promote it like it's just some sort of get-rich-quick scheme.
Do you think it's promoted badly?
I think it is by the majority of the people, and I think that's out of control. Look at sports, music, whatever it may be. There's always going to be that bottom, the bottom percent of people who go out there and give it a bad publicity or a bad name. So I think that it does start with us. I think it starts with us as leaders. The speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. But at the end of the day, I think people just go out there. It's all emotions. When you're broke and you're struggling, you have no money. It's hard to go out there and posture yourself as a six-figure earner and a millionaire, wherever you want to be. And that's what we always talk about: act as if. But people go out there in the industry, and it's like a lottery ticket. Most people who join the industry, they come in, they scratch off a couple people that they want to tell about it. If they say no, they don't want to join, they throw it away and they give it a bad stigma. And I think that people also overhype and over-exaggerate because they're trying to sell people to join their business and make money off them. And
so do you think that there is a lot of mis-selling?
So much mis-selling, bro. I think that comes from a lot of industries, but I think that network marketing has that common nomenclature because that's what the business is. When you look at music, or when you look at athletes, or when you look at other things, what they're defined as being great comes with there's no really. There is statistics, but there's so many trophies in this industry that don't get accredited for, that you can't show for. In basketball, you win a Grammy, you win this, you go platinum on a record, you have this many touchdowns. There's so many statistics that you can tell on the scoreboard, but in network marketing, it's not just how big your team is, how many events you do, or how much your income is, because your income and the title of your rank is the lowest base of leadership. So I think in this industry, bro, I really do believe that there is a lot of mis-selling going on, and that starts with us really change that going into the future, because people are exaggerating just to get people in and telling them you can make money, you can do this, because most people don't have that long-term mindset. To finish this off real quick, whatever you believe in, I'm not the most religious, I believe in God, but I know in the Bible it talks about how, what was it, I think it was Alexander, I don't want to say that, I don't want to get it wrong.
For sure.
But in the Bible, he didn't believe about, whatever your beliefs are. Here's the story. When Jesus came back from the 3 days in the dead, he didn't believe it. No way. Everyone said he's here, and he was at a get together and he saw Jesus and he was like, no way, bro, you're back. And Jesus looked at him and he said this. He said, blessed are those who see without believing. But more blessed is those who believe without even seeing. And I think that people don't. What did Helen Keller say? What did Helen Keller say? He said about vision. He said the thing that's worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. And I feel like people in today's society, we live in such a quick look. We have these little things right here. We have these little cell phones. We jump on and it's all over. We have these models, these beautiful girls on our Instagram. We have this, that, boom, boom, boom. Everything's so quick, and we have like this microwave mindset. And I think people need to adapt that crock pot mindset where success is like marinated and cooked, and people just want success right away. If they don't get it, they quit. So
I think it's because we have access to the internet so much, and you see so many online millionaires and billionaires.
And you compare yourself. And when you start comparing yourself to other people, that's when you fail.
I want to have a little debate with you, man. I want to have a little debate with you, right? Because I think you could possibly change my mind. Are people who are actively involved in network marketing, are they entrepreneurs? In the purest form, are they entrepreneurs?
Yeah, that's up to them. And that was one of the things that used to beat me up. You know, people come into the industry, they pay $200, $500 to join a business, and all of a sudden they're an entrepreneur, bro.
Yeah.
They haven't entrepreneured anything at all. And I think that now gives entrepreneurship kind of like a weird name, because people can just come in and buy a little business and start claiming that, but really at all, no, they're not. They have to earn that. Saying you're an entrepreneur, you have to earn that title. It doesn't matter. It's not about being a billionaire or this or that. It's about really like the skill sets you've developed, and are you adding value? What are you creating? Are you innovative? Are you actually pushing are you pushing the notion forward in the future?
Because it's understandable, because from my eyes, I've always seen entrepreneurship is a lot of it's to do with risk. Right? Because when you start a business, if you start your own business, it's your baby, first of all, and then you're protecting it, right? But you put in so much money to make it work, and if it fails, then you've taken a big risk. But I think a lot of people jump into network marketing and they're like, look, hey, I'm now an entrepreneur. But I think with you, you've gone so far, right? To the extent where you've had a lot of, I would say, economic cost alongside not just paying for whatever it is. There's been you've probably put money down for so many flights and hotels and events and whatnot, right? You've got a lot more to lose. Let's say if tomorrow, I mean, God forbid, anything was to happen to you or the company, you've got a lot more to lose. I can then see that as saying that, you know what, you define entrepreneurship.
It's earned the title.
Right, you've earned the title. But would you then say, so you would agree that anyone that's coming into network marketing, they've got to earn that title?
Yeah, I'd say in entrepreneurship and network marketing, they differentiate a lot. Because when you start a business, you know, I mean, when you're starting a business at rock bottom, call it what it is. You are the janitor, you are the CEO, you are the CMO, you are the COO, you are the customer service, you are the human resources.
Thank you, you vibe to me, bro.
You're everything, man. And real entrepreneurs know that, man, how freaking hard it is, bro. The countless hours of pain, man, being up at 3 a.m. and just grinding your ass off. And man, I'm telling you, when I walk into a restaurant or when I go places, you know what I love most? I was at Sushi Samba the other day, and the manager working there, oh my gosh, man. Bro, this man came to our table maybe 15, 20 times in the first 30 minutes being there, asking us if we were okay. He even came and gave us he gave us free food, bro. And I'm sitting there thinking, as Jim Rohn once said, he said, if you do more than what you're paid, eventually you'll be paid for more than what you do. And I think that entrepreneurs are the ones that really live that out. And I think in network marketing, it's not more about management. We know it's not about micromanaging. In a business, here's the thing. In network marketing, I think it's important to be involved in the business. You see, we're in the freaking track, bro. I haven't slept in 4 days. I'm in pajamas, bro. I'm in Abercrombie and Little Fitch, little kids' pajamas. Got some little Gucci loafers on. I haven't showered in a day. I haven't slept. And bro, this is it. We're out here in the trenches, bro. And this is the grind. We're in the business. I think what entrepreneurs, the important focus is not getting, there's a balance. At first, you're in your business. I think people think they're just, I'm not gonna clean the trash up. I've seen CEOs that go clean the freaking trash cans out before the end of the day shifts, and they're multi-millionaires. And some people go, I would never clean the trashes out. When you start becoming too big for the little things, you start becoming too little for the big things. But here's the difference. In network marketing, I think it's important to be, it's really important to be in your business. Entrepreneurship as well, when you first start a company, you gotta be every role, bro. You're everything. But what good entrepreneurs do, what good CEOs do is they're smart. Good CEOs, they hire people smarter than themselves. The people that work for me and my other businesses outside of entrepreneurship, they graduated. I never even graduated high school. These people graduated college. They're smarter than me. On paper, they're smarter than me. So what they do is, yes, they work in their business, but they don't get too caught up working in their business. They work on their business. You know what I'm saying?
That balance.
So that's the balance.
So
they don't. You gotta manage. You gotta be good at what entrepreneurs do. Number one, they have to know thyself. No matter what you do. Entrepreneurship, network marketing, athletes, but you have to know thyself. What are you good at? You know what the biggest misconception of bullshit quotes are? I hate hearing this shit. There's two quotes. I think that Steve Jobs said, when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And people say, just, whatever you love, just do it, man. And that's bullshit, bro. I love playing basketball. Look at me, bro. Does it look like I'm gonna go to the league? Does it look like I'm gonna be dunking? No. I love music, I love this, I love that. But I'm aware of what I'm actually well at, what I'm good at, what my strengths are. And most people, they don't know what their weaknesses and strengths are. Number one, what entrepreneurs do that's very important, because you're hiring, you're building a team around you. And what good entrepreneurs and CEOs do is they're like head coaches, bro. I see people putting point guards to get rebounds, and it's like you got to know not only your strengths and weaknesses, but how to play the roles of other people. And I think really good visionaries and entrepreneurs, they're able to adapt well and be able to coach a team.
I think that was crazy. Bro, that was fire, bro.
It, right?
No, because you know
they say he's just a network marketer. You done?
No, because actually we're actually going to move on to this, because you've been smart. You've not just done network marketing. You've actually branched out. And what we like to call this in the UK, especially in London in the financial industry, is you've decided that, you know what, you're not just going to have some dumb money. You're going to make your money smart, right? You're not just going to have one source of income. You're going to go ahead and diversify. And so you've
diversifying after you've already made a mill. Oh my goodness, so many people, they're like, well, the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. People try to dilly up and dally up.
You know,
after you've already mastered.
You need to blow up one at a time.
I spoke at this event. Fash, you remember this as well, right? You remember my quote that I?
Sure.
You don't remember my quote?
There's a billion quotes out there.
I made a new quote. Right? Make the bread first before the sauce strips.
Before the what?
The sauce strips.
What is that?
It's his own quote.
Is that meat, bro?
Sauce.
Oh, okay. I'm a vegan, bro. Don't talk about me.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
So no, what I'm trying to say is that you get your bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
Which you've done, and then you've let the sauce strip, and you've gone ahead and you've done your things. So one of the projects you've been working on is called Social Blur, right? And from what I know, it's taking the social media industry by storm, and it's not even launched yet.
Yeah, we haven't launched yet.
Right. So talk us through what is Social Blur?
So Social Blur is the #1 Instagram marketing platform on the planet, and what we really do is just, like I was saying, everyone has their pitch, but I'd like to kind of just get more in depth. What I think really most people do is all right, let me reverse engineer this real quick before I just give a little pitch on what this is. What I think most entrepreneurs do, their biggest fault, what my biggest fault was, and I speak aggressively because I speak to myself. Today, remember I was like screaming? I was speaking to myself in the mirror, bro, so I don't really care. But I think that entrepreneurs, they have the ego and pride of they know they can do it better than everybody else because they're a perfectionist. They care the most about their own company. When you hire employees, they may believe fully in the vision, bro. You're never gonna have an employee that could do something better. Yeah, they may be more skilled and smarter, but like I used to think that I could do everything better than somebody else, and I think that the reason why we really wanted to create Social Blurs, we wanted to allow people to focus on what they're good at. Once again, getting back to the whole roundabout. When you're an entrepreneur, a CEO, whatever you are, influencer, model, this, that, the other, we want to allow people to focus on what their strengths are. And I think that people having to go out there and figure out how to get more engagement, more influence, more audience. Call it what it is. One of my mentors taught me. He said, Austin, it's pretty funny. people, what's the most important part about a business? What's the most important part about it? Customer service, the product, customers. If there's no revenue, there's no nothing, bro. You can't go that long. So, and most, what is it? What, 90% of companies fail in their first 5 years.
9 out of 10.
Most companies don't even break even. So, if you have revenue, if you have customers, if you have audience. So what we allow people to do is we there's a lot of other companies out there that I've seen, and over the past couple of years with the Instagram, there's bots and softwares and this, and what we really wanted to build is something where we have a team built around people's social media and their Instagram to allow them, and call it what it is. Facebook, they're at 2 billion users. Instagram has surpassed now 1 billion users. So a seventh of the whole entire planet is using Instagram, and I think that Instagram has really taken over the sauce. Just to be honest, you watching this, I don't need to go into detail. Instagram has the sauce. Everyone's on Instagram, so that's where it is. And I'll be real with you. I mean, I don't need to brag. I let my results brag for me, but I'm just trying to impress upon you guys. Even in the company, you know how today when they brought up the enrollment leadership board, I thought I was being edified because I had 2 of my positions in the whole entire company in the top 15 for enrollments of the whole entire history of the company. And where does most of that come from? It's come from Instagram. And I think Instagram's a great way. Here's one cool thing. And I know I'm going around. I love to go around, bro. And I always try to bring it back. I don't like to just give a little quick elevator pitch, but one of the funny things is in today's society, people ask me, why don't you have a business card? Well, if you understood that 60% of business cards get thrown away in the first 10 minutes, and then within a week, 85% of business cards get thrown in the trash can. And I think Instagram is your digital business card. And I think that just being able to provide the value and show the lifestyle and whatever you're marketing is so important, man. And once you hit that follow button, it's like people are subscribed to your lifestyle. And with Social Blur to kind of full 360 this, Social Blur is really, we focus on building and growing people's engagement, their likes, their growth, their audience, all by automation, all on the back end with what we do. So, and kind of to bring that around about with artificial intelligence, I've seen a lot of these bots and softwares and things that are really weird, having little 13-year-old girls follow them in India or Colombia, little weird things, but how we've really built it is what's allowed me to become so successful. And we've done 3 beta launches in 30 days now, and I just checked the Stripe account. We've now just cleared almost about 6 figures a month, and we now have about 1,000 customers, 1,000 clients in the company before we've even launched, and it is doing very well. So we're really excited, man.
You say that then Social Blur is sort of your challenge or your approach to traditional business, traditional entrepreneurship? I mean, is this something that is going to be your defining or your side of traditional business?
And to even answer the previous question going on to that, attraction marketing, you want to become the hunted, you don't want to be the hunter. People think about it, prospects, clients, customers. You have a restaurant, you need more clients, you need more people to come in and buy. You have a jewelry shop, you have a t-shirt shop. As I'm walking here in London, it's crazy, bro. I'm walking through these back alleyways and I'm like, how the hell do these people even pay for the rent? They're in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, how much do they pay to lease out that place a month, and what revenue are they pulling in? They're in the middle of nowhere. So imagine, instead of you going out there and trying to find 3, 5, 10 customers per day, what if 3, 5, 10, 15 customers per day were contacting you about your business? What would your business look like? So become the hunted, don't be the hunter. That's attraction marketing at its finest, becoming the alpha, not being in the beta mindset. But to answer your question, you were saying, is that
your bread and butter from traditional business side, or is there more? Is there going to be a lot more that you're going to be bringing out? Are you going to get involved in a lot more business, or is it always going to be something where the network marketing is always going to be the cornerstone?
No, I think when I get buried 6 feet deep, I don't think people will even mention network marketing at my funeral. To be quite honest.
So you wanna leave a legacy.
I already have. But when network marketing is a great stepping stone. I think that network marketing has allowed me, and the company I'm a part of, the industry we're a part of, is an amazing industry. But I think it's an amazing stepping stool, an amazing stepping stone for entrepreneurs to come in and get. Bro, it's $200, $500, $1,000 to join the industry. How much is it to create a traditional business? I just opened up a business for
I mean, you're looking at
a medical spa where we do IV bars and stem cells. I purchased 2 locations, I franchised them, and became a part owner. And bro, that cost me about $250,000, bro.
Yeah.
And that was before I even got the lease for the locations, and before I even furnished them. Yeah. I'm already $400,000.
Yeah.
Network marketing, you pay $200 to get involved in the business. Now you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
And it's such an easy name to be able to say that. But yeah, I think I'm doing a bunch of things right now. I have Airbnb business. We have a bunch of locations in Miami, doing e-commerce with Amazon, really automating. That's one of the things that I think, that was one of the things that scared me. I didn't want to become the jack of all trades. I knew that I could do too many things, but it's like, number one, what did I really want to focus on and be great at? And number two, I didn't want to spread myself thin. So yeah, with network marketing, right now I understand I feel like I'm in a zone, and I'm focused on my people, my leaders. I feel like a lot of people in the industry, when they start making a lot of money, even not even this kind of money, when they start making maybe $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, they start to step away and diversify. And for me, man, I'm out here, bro, and I'm dealing with personal problems in my life, my family, bro. If I could speak on camera about the things that are going on in my life right now,
you'll probably cry.
98%, 99.9% of people will be at home handling this shit. But I'm out here. I just had to come out here. Literally almost broke my knee, falling off a moped in Italy, went back home to the emergency room and other things. So yeah, I mean, I'm out here. I'm still grinding, and it's crazy that somebody making, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars per month, how can they be working harder and working more? I haven't slept in 4 days. I'm not bragging, but I'm going to show you that how can somebody be putting in these kind of hours and this kind of grind more than the person making a couple $100 a month or a couple of $1,000 a month? You would think that they would be working harder. And what most people say, they go, well, if I was at that level, then I would start doing that. And as Jim Rohn said, most people say, well, when I become a millionaire, I'll start doing that. No, motherfucker. You do that, and then you become a multi-millionaire. So everyone wants to be a boss until there's boss shit to do, until there's things that you need to do to be a boss. So everyone talks the talk, but as you saw today at the event, right? Remember, I said, there was 2,000 people at the event today, right? And when I was speaking, I said, raise your hand if you want to be a six-figure earner. Everyone's hands went up, right?
Yeah.
The following moments, I said, okay, I'll give you 3 seconds. Stand up. I want one person right now to share their why about why they're doing this business.
Yeah.
The whole room got quiet, bro.
Yeah.
So when it comes to being a boss and standing up and doing the things, people don't want to get uncomfortable, or people don't want to step into that uncomfort zone.
Yeah.
People have that fear, and they don't want to do it. So that's what was everyone.
Can we dive into the whole aspect of not giving up?
Yeah.
Because,
so we want to discuss this. So we've got a theme for every episode. Right, we've discussed a lot of things in this season, but there is one thing that I think no better person could sort of help have a discussion with us. So bring it up, Asif.
Yeah. So it's our theme for today is going to be persistence and not giving up. And there's no better person to talk about this than my man Austin GODSEY. So just elaborate on why you should always persist in life and why you should never ever give up.
Yeah, it sounds so corny and cliche, but it's really the honest truth. I'll share a story if you want.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Might go a little bit,
Go for it.
but it's real raw.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
So you're gonna go roll with us.
Yeah. So alright. So
Let's go.
alright. So my first couple years in the industry, I never made more than like $1,000 a month. Never. And there was a few things that tied in. Most people are asking everywhere I go and I travel, people are always asking, what's the one thing? And there's never going to be the one thing, or there's never going to be one mentor. What I always tell people is, bro, I'm not your mentor. Like Anthony Robbins said, I'm not your guru. There's only how I look at mentors is like there's only so much you can pick apart, and what can you there's only like 1, 2, 3 things you just take and rip and study and master from each mentor. You look at Donald Trump. We hate him. But okay, look at how it's built around the political office. With Donald Trump, what is it called? He has like a board of advisors. He has like 15 board of directors.
It's a cabinet, right?
Yeah.
A cabinet.
He has 15 of them.
Yeah.
So when I look at mentors or whatever, the one thing, there's no one thing. It's like a soup. Success is like a soup. You can't just put the broth in, or just the vegan sausage, or just the salt, or just the pepper, or just the carrots, the onions. It's all everything, right? To make it a concoction that tastes real good, right? So I think that here's one quick story, and I swear, this is it. Take this for what it is, man. I told this story earlier. Do you know Montel? On the
Montel, yeah.
I had a 30-minute call with him. That's another thing about success. So many motherfuckers don't want to spend time with people that don't benefit the direct income. I spent 30 minutes on a phone call with Montel. Is he on our team?
No,
he's not on our team. I spent 30 minutes on a call with him. That doesn't directly benefit my income. People will only invest. Man, my mentor told me there's these 3 things, the 3 T's. You wanna tithe 3 things. He said, your treasure, your time, and your talent. And I think when it comes to your time, in the universe, people only want to invest themselves into something if they know they're going to get something back out of it, or if they expect something back out of it. You know, I'll do this for you if you're going to do this for me. Yeah. And bro, I swear, man, that's why people are so freaking broke, man. Out of 100 people who died, this is an American statistic, not even a global statistic. Out of 100 people who die today, 85% die broke, in debt, or have no money, bro, nothing. And that's scary. The average funeral has 15 people show up to it, bro. That's disgusting. That's terrifying, bro. But if Drake came to your city, if LeBron came to your city and gave you front row seats for 20 friends, all your friends would show up. But if you fucking die, bro, only 15 people show up on average. So let's get to it. So day 1 of me launching my business, I flew out to Las Vegas. And let's be real. My pride and my ego, I didn't want the CEO to pay for my ticket.
Yeah.
I found out everyone else that came out, all the leaders, they all had their tickets paid for. So I paid on my own dollar to go out there. So we get out there, we sit at a presentation table, and Chris, I did a meeting, and Chris tells this story all the time, bro. That's what Chris loves me, bro. We're recognized real, bro. And then people are like, oh, I don't like Chris. You don't answer my message. You gotta fucking earn it, bro. You gotta deserve it. Look at Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Why do you think they're so close? Because they win rings, bro. Like Drake says, I'm not into making friends, I'm into making history, bro. If you're not finna change the world, what the fuck you doing, bro? I don't have time to polish my toenails and talk about the weather outside, bro. We're here to change the world. Life is so short. So if you look at it, I flew to Vegas, we get there, right? Look, everyone at the table was a self-proclaimed 6-figure earner. I was the only person at the table that never made over $1,000 per month. And everyone's sitting there looking at me like, how's Austin even in this fucking room right now? How is Austin even in the room right now, right? Chris didn't even know me. Everyone thought I was on coke. Everyone thought I was on Adderall. I'm being raw with you right now, right? Because I was pacing. I was on my own high, my own drug, because I knew what I saw in front of me, and I was like, I'm gonna dominate this and call it what it is. I said, look, no one's gonna outwork me. Call it what it is. So we're in Vegas, right? And Chris does a 5-hour presentation. You can even go to YouTube and see my previous lifestyle videos. I'm pacing, and people are like, what's wrong with this kid, bro? What is he taking? What is he on? And I had just broken up with my girlfriend, and she had full custody of my son.
Sheesh.
And she would leverage the fact that I couldn't see my son. And I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but when you can't see your own child, it's just painful, bro. And yeah.
That's crazy.
So we get there, 5-hour meeting, and I walk out the room. I'm on calls. I'm like, all right, let's go to the hotel room. I had nowhere to stay. Chris booked hotel rooms. I don't give a fuck, excuse my language, but I'll expose names because this is the real raw truth. There were other leaders there. I won't go too far. But Chris bought rooms for all the other leaders. I'm not gonna expose names. I don't want to really hurt. I don't want to burn relationships. But you know who you are. And you motivated me. So Chris bought rooms for all the other 6-figure earners who were my uplines in the company, who were making a lot of money off me. That night, that night when we got to the hotel, everyone's getting ready, getting dressed and showered and putting all their cologne and Snapchatting, putting their makeup on. There was girls and all these 6-figure earners, they were all gonna go out to Vegas and party, right? I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck are we celebrating, bro? The fact that we're not even making any income. While everyone went out, look, before that, we went to a dinner with Chris. And if you ever go to a dinner with Chris, my man is wild, bro. He'll order everything on the menu. So we go out to dinner, right? Chris is ordering lobster, steak, shrimp, wine, cocktails, hors d'oeuvres at a 5-star restaurant at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. And everyone's eating it up. Oh, we love it. I was so broke, but I never experienced that lifestyle. And instead of indulging in the moment, I know it's okay to manifest and try to be in the Lamborghini and wear a Rolex before you actually get it. But I didn't need that. I went outside of the restaurant. It was Chris tells the same story, bro. Shoot me dead if I'm lying. The whole 3 hours, I sat outside the restaurant. I took a piece of paper, I had napkins. I was writing down. I went on Facebook and I went on Instagram, and I was looking up everyone who I knew in Los Angeles, because the next day I had a launch event. There was one person on my team. His name was Steven. He was going to join me in IML, and I was ready to go like Platinum 150, Platinum 600, and I was like, yo, I need to launch, right? And back then in my company, one of our products, it's a digital service, bro. One of our products, the scanner, it took 4 hours to download, bro. No lie, bro. You had to like be like a digital encrypted coder to like figure out how to like develop bro. It's crazy. So that whole night, so while everyone else is out there doing that, I'm writing my whole list. I'm inviting, I'm blitzing my list the whole dinner, and even leaders were coming out like, bro, we got like fire, we're like little tipsy, oh, come here and get some food. They're all Snapchat, oh, bro, having a good time, right? And even Chris comes out and he's like, bro, he said, Austin, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, come inside. I looked at Chris, he knows this. I said, you're not telling me what I'm doing, I'm gonna show you. And there was no 6-figure earners in the company at that point. No six figure yearly earners, right?
Yeah.
And when I told him that I was gonna hit the top rank and be a 6-figure monthly earner, he believed, but I saw it in Chris's heart and his eyes. He was like, show me. Everyone talks. That whole night for 3 hours, I didn't eat. I forewent eating. You know how they say leaders eat last? That's real. And while everyone was eating, I was eating. Make sense? So I blitzed my event. I downloaded the product. The next day, okay, so we go back to the hotel room. Listen, this is it. This is it. We go to the hotel room, everyone goes out to go party. DJs, the clubs, and you go to Vegas, it's crazy there.
Yeah.
The one girl, her name's Carly. She promised me she would give me a ride. You promised me you would give me a ride to go to Los Angeles because you lived in Los Angeles and you said the next day you were going. That night, all the leaders went out and they got shit-faced drunk. They went to the parties. I stayed in the hotel room the whole night. You know what's crazy, bro? You can go back on my Facebook and find the picture of what I have my feet like this in the picture. I'm counting money that wasn't even mine in the photo. My shoes have holes ripped in the bottom. When I would walk on my shoes, they were dress shoes, my physical feet would touch the ground. I didn't have money for new shoes. And the jacket I was wearing, no lie, you know, Salvation Army, it was Salvation Armani to me, bro. It was a women's blazer that was $4. And I couldn't wear men's blazers because they were so big fitted. So I would wear women's and girls' blazers because they were so tight fitting, they looked good. I was wearing a women's blazer from Salvation Army. I had shoes that were ripping out from the bottoms. And while everybody else went out to party, I stayed there and I literally blitzed the hell out of my business, bro. The next morning, they all come back at like 4 or 5 a.m. and I'm like, yo, Carly, we gotta go soon. She's like, yo, let me just see for like an hour or two. I'm like, all right, do your thing. 5-hour drive, do your thing. 2 hours come, yo, Carly, let's wake up, let's go. No, I'm so messed up. After like 20 minutes of arguing, I'm like, Carly, I said, Carly, if you don't take me to LA, it's gonna be the biggest regret of your whole entire life because I'm about to blow this shit up and you're gonna get left behind. He said, I just can't, I'm so I was like, yo, I'll even drive. Didn't do it. Long story short, I called another friend. His name is John. He was the man. He took me to LA. He drove me the whole way out there. We got to LA. I did meetings the whole entire day. Look, listen, they went to bed around like 6, 7 a.m. By noon, I was already out in LA doing meetings at coffee shops. By the time that everyone woke up from their binge, the last night partying, I had my event in LA at a penthouse. About 30 people showed up.
Wow.
At the event, I already had it prepared for Chris to speak on the call. I had my people. I had my product downloaded before everybody else was even enrolled in the business, bro, because they partied the night before. I launched my event. During the event, I brought up the scanner, 4X, whatever.
Yeah.
It called out a trade on the British pound and US dollar. I put a dollar lot size. I caught 36 pips in 15 minutes, and I made $360 in front of everybody at the event.
Whoa.
I enrolled every person at the event, and I hit Platinum 1000 by the time people were waking up, bro. That was day 1 in the business, right?
It's crazy.
Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. By day 5, I hadn't slept in 5 days. People were wondering what drug I was on, what I was eating, what I was doing. I was just so high on life and so focused on what I needed to do this. And it's like, look, if you don't sacrifice what you love will be the sacrifice. And it's like, look, if you're willing to go all in for 3 to 5 years, you can live the next 30, 40, 50 years of your life like people can't even fucking imagine, bro. People look at when people hear me speak like this, they're like, yo, you're fucking crazy, bro. Yeah, bro, if you look at my bank account, that shit's crazy, bro. When you look at how I can retire my mom, that shit's crazy. When you look at how I can travel the world, today I threw thousands of dollars out in the crowd. It's not about money. But it is about money, bro. Our planet runs around money. And money makes you more who you are as a person. So if you're a good person, you can do more good with money, bro. That's why I love money, because you can do more good with it. So the 5th day, and I'm not telling you guys to do this, I'm just telling you how hard I went. The 5th day, I had a seizure. I was foaming from the mouth because of sleep deprivation. They had to carry me into the hospital in Las Vegas because I went back to Las Vegas. And I woke up in the emergency room because of lack of sleep. And that's how hard it went, bro. And now people see it here. You know, 5-star hotels. Oh, you got Gucci slipper. You got 100 bands on your wrist. And you retired your mom. You're traveling. You have $1 million penthouse in Miami. People see this and they don't see the freaking grind that went into getting this shine, man. And I'm telling you, bro, what you practice in private, you'll be praised for in public, man. It's what you do behind closed doors that nobody sees. Entrepreneurship is not fun. It's not. No. Becoming successful is not fun. You look at Drake, you know, on his one song, 10 bands, 20 bands, 50 bands, and the one line he says, I've been in the counter for a week now, haven't left the counter for a week. And he's saying, haven't left the condo for a week, bro. What everyone else is out doing, he's locked in his condo, wearing probably the same boxers, not showering, all food. Bro, that's entrepreneur. It's not fun, bro. Up at 3 a.m. taking those phone calls. Entrepreneurship is not the funnest. But I'm telling you, bro, when you make it, bro, there's no other reward that can really get you there. So that's one story I want to say that really never get up, man.
You know, this whole section is supposed to be a discussion. I'm like, you know what? That's disgusting.
Do you know what? I knew it. Like, as soon as we thought
like,
it was like stories, like just stories. Just tell your story, bro. Like, you got this.
It's like, bro, right now I'm on 4 days of no sleep, to be real. Like, okay, so I got to London, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
What is it? It's Monday right now, right?
Yeah, Monday.
We're going on Tuesday morning, right?
Yeah.
I arrived Friday, right? So I didn't sleep Thursday night going into Friday. On the plane, I didn't sleep. I finished my book, and when we got here, we didn't sleep. We went to the training, and I'm like losing. Saturday, bro, we slept for like 2-3 hours before the major event yesterday, and now here we are. I'm like delusional, bro. And it's like, it's crazy, man. And how, I just don't understand how people who are broke, people who say they want to be successful, it's like, how the fuck are you sleeping like it's your full-time job? And excuse my language, but I really don't care, because Anthony Robbins swears, and Gary Vee and Grant Cardone, and the reason why I swear so much is because I want, when you say fuck, oh my days, it wakes you up, bro. And to add on to that, people see me wear an upside down cross. Like, is he saying this? Is he this? Well, the upside down cross really resembles being humble, because in the Bible, you know, one of the disciples was crucified upside down because he felt like he wasn't great enough to be crucified. Like, whatever religion we believe in, people are probably like, what's this guy doing, or why is he this way? But there's a method to my madness for everything. So I think that you guys got to really create your own lifestyle. All of us right here, we created this machine that we have, bro. It's all developed and all created. So everyone watching this video, it doesn't matter where you're from, where you are. It's really about where you're going, and you can really start at any given moment. No excuses. Everyone's a millionaire in the world, bro. Yeah. Everyone's a millionaire. You either have a million excuses or $1 million, but you can't have both. So.
Can you elaborate on your book that you just finished?
Yeah. Gee.
He's beaten me to it. That's
Yeah. I want to hear more about it, because obviously I've been following your stuff for quite some time. I've seen quite a lot of your speaking on YouTube, Instagram. Follow your stuff quite closely. So I want to see what it is in written form.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's not what works, it's what duplicates. So the book is pretty simple. You know, what we're doing right here is really raw, like straight off the top stories. In the book, it's more to the basics, but it is what you need to do. You know, if you duplicate the basics, it's what allows you to really succeed in anything you do. You know, when you look at Michael Jordan's footwork, when you look at what he did, you know, even Phil Jackson would talk about Michael. He would say how Michael just really mastered the basics. And you know, when hard work beats talent, what is it? When talent doesn't work hard work beats talent. So it's like, you know, even athletes, you know, it's so funny. Most athletes in football, soccer, basketball, baseball, I was watching an interview the other day of like the greatest head coaches of all time, and they were even Phil Jackson, they were saying how 80% of athletes don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't even know the game. They don't know how to play the game. They're just so talented. And I think that in this game, it's so in any game you do. I don't care whether you knit quilts, you're a model, I don't care what it is. You mold pottery, whatever you do, bro. You're a developer for a company. Whatever you do in life, I think it's important you really master the basics. And even as Brian Tracy says, he says to really go out there and create a $1 billion. People are always like, I want to create the next Uber of this, the next Apple of this. Everyone says that dumb shit, and it's so corny, bro. People are, I have the next $1 billion idea. And it's like, have you ever created a $10,000 a year company? No. Have you ever created a $1 million a year company? No. People want to jump the gun, but they don't even master the basics, bro. And I think in this book, what I really wanted to do is I really wanted to teach people the basics of what it does take to just start to build that foundation in your network marketing business. So with this book, it's called The Blueprint. I wouldn't say I've been working on it for the past like 70 months. I have not been working on it for the past 70 months. You know, never give up. Here's funny. I'm a dumbass for not putting it on the iCloud. I had my one laptop stolen. I wrote 75% of my book 2 years ago, and it got stolen. And that was a hit, and I hate writing. Like, I hate writing. So when that happened, I was like, yo, fuck, I'm never creating a book. And then I finally built the guts up to do it again, right? My laptop got stolen in San Francisco. And I was out there meeting a leader, and it's like people always wonder, what does it take? You know, never give up. I think that when everybody else gave up, I was just working so damn hard that I became lucky. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So you catch those breaks. I was in San Francisco, got my laptop stolen, 75% of my book was written, and then the next summer I was in Barcelona. In between that time, I made the decision. I was like, yo, fuck it, I'm just gonna put it all on paper. I have most of it memorized, so I flooded it for weeks, and it's got all of it on my new laptop. And I'm an idiot for not learning from my own mistakes to put it on iCloud. I put it on that laptop. I got 80%. I remember I had a flight from Paris to America the one night, and it was about an 8-hour flight, and I got to about 80% of my whole book finished. And then I went back to Barcelona, had that laptop stolen, and lost my second version of the book. So people don't really know about this, but okay, this is my third version of the book. It's all on iCloud. It's all on the cloud base. So this is my third version of the book. I'd say it's been about 2 years in the coming, and this is not just from what I've learned in books. I feel like, oh my god, let me get into it real quick. I think that so many people are so freaking corny nowadays, how everyone's out there with these ads, this, and everyone has a voice now on social media. It's so loud. I think I read an article that said, when we walk outside of our house, every day the average human being has about like 1,800 ads thrown in their face subconsciously, whether it's billboards or ads or literally right now, like let's look. Bro, I guarantee there's shit around us, bro. Like the Gucci symbol,
the magazine.
There's shit all around us being thrown in our face. We don't even know it. The Apple sign, and I think nowadays, what's so corny to me, you guys should question before you listen to somebody. Do they have the results that you want? And people are always out there trying to teach you how to get $1 million business, and they've never built $1 million business. And the reason why they made $1 million is because they sold courses on how to build $1 million business without building $1 million business. And it's so phony, bro. And that's the corniest shit, man. I see all these little marketers, they're out there trying to teach you how to do this, do that. All these little social media mentors and Facebook gurus. And it's like, I purposely wanted to stray away from that. I didn't want to be known as that guy. I've been making 6 figures a month for years now. I've been making 6 figures, multiple 7 figures, almost 8 figures a year for years now. And now I'm finally willing to put out businesses and this and that because I have the credibility. I don't want to do it without having the credibility. And I think that so many people do that. It's so corny. So this book is really teaching people how to master the basics and how to go out there and earn that $100,000 per year in network marketing. I feel like I've given enough value and enough of me in the book to be able to
do we have a rough idea when it's gonna come out?
Yeah, next two weeks it'll be on Amazon.
Oh wow.
So by the time this episode is out,
sheesh,
it should be out.
Everyone go buy Austin's book. And go buy Social Blur. Do you know what I think Social Blur is? It's like a magnet for your digital business card.
It could be. I reckon. I do believe it is.
Yeah.
I don't even want to have to whip my inbox. If I would pull my inbox out right on the camera and I would show you guys, I have multiple accounts. On Instagram I have the @4x. That was like
Oh yeah.
And all of my accounts are at 99. Even Aiden, my 5-year-old son, it's so weird. People like actually contact him like, hey man, can I talk to your dad?
What?
Weirdo, man. But all of my accounts have 99 plus requests on them because of Social Blur, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're drawing so much audience and engagement. Like imagine what your business would be like if you could 10x your engagement, your audience, the eyeballs on what you're doing. And what's funny is, I heard a quote one time that says that people that love you will spend an hour a day watching you. The people that hate you will spend 2 hours a day watching you. And it's almost like in my life, here's how I think. I would rather have 1,000 people that love me than a million people who just like kind of sort of like me. You know, I'd rather have a deeper connection to my audience, my fan base, or my customers, or whatever it may be. So with social blur, man, it's crazy, bro. Like how we're like think about this. So let's say you're an Instagram model, right? And you're selling, you know, they sell the teas, the protein powders, right? Their audience can be worldwide, right? So the way that we're targeting and bringing audience to them is different from how, and this is where we differentiate ourselves from a store in London, a storefront restaurant. We're not going to go out there and target everyone in the world. We're going to target everywhere around that location and bring customers in. Bro, oh my days, bro, if I owned a restaurant, you know what I would do? If I owned a club, you know what I would do? I would say, look, come to our club this Friday. I would, in their inbox, comment, this is what we do. Come get a free drink. Why not? You get a free drink, come in this Friday.
You go.
Well, you know what? Well, I don't want to give the free.
What?
That's a poverty mindset. That's a scarcity mindset. People who come for a free drink, they're gonna get more drinks, bro. You're gonna drop so much more. What does it cost you to pour a little one shot? How much does a bottle of Ciroc cost for the company? Belvedere. It costs them maybe like $9, bro. And a shot of it is like 37 cents. Oh my days! And you're getting more people in there. You know what I'll be doing? I will be connecting with influencers saying, yo, fucking come in, we'll give you a free table. You have 1 million, 2 million followers, we'll give you a free table. Just post it on your story.
Yeah.
And, well, I don't want to give a free table. I'm going to lose $2,000 for that. Oh my days, you're not learning the lesson behind it.
It's the longer game. It's the longer game.
And that's how we really build it, man. We really target and build around. We're not just just bots and salt. That's not what we are, man. We really have a management team.
Yeah, I hear that. You know what I've learned. I've learned a lot, right? But you know what I've learned. The ultimate lesson. Austin doesn't run out of sauce.
Do you know what it is?
He doesn't.
It's like everyone's gonna take like pages of notes.
And automation, man. I think that.
You know when we come to like,
automate business.
When we come to like season 4, season 5, maybe season 6.
We have to bring Austin.
Oh yeah, we'll bring Austin back.
100%.
It's about time you
see how much crazy stuff he's got.
bring me back on. It'll be it. We might be bringing Aiden back on this episode.
Oh yeah,
why not? Yeah,
of course.
Love to.
Are you doubting our work rate with Fash that we're not gonna get to season 6 until? Or are you saying that Aiden's gonna grow real quick?
I'm just saying in that amount of time, Aiden's gonna surpass where I am right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to bring a new face on. But yeah, I mean,
well, look, man,
you guys are crushing it.
We've loved having you, right? And I think it's been a bit of a hustle in terms of getting you within such a busy schedule, like this, slotting you in. So we do appreciate a lot of it.
I see my phone right here. People are like, yo, my days. But
look,
yeah,
man, we've absolutely loved it.
Yeah. And any final words? I mean,
well, what would you say? So, final question to wrap it up. Anyone hustling out there, right? Anyone going through a hard time, a dark time, like you've come from. Right? And if you have to say, you have to give one piece of advice to someone who's maybe even 18, 19, or even 22, 23 going through a dark time, what is that one thing that you would tell them that, you know what, like how Kendrick Lamar once said, you know what, it's going to be alright. What would be your interpretation? What would you tell them?
Alright, so 2 things. As I was saying, there isn't that one thing. There isn't the one thing in the sauce. And I think a lot of people, and that's a good question. I know that you're not asking about the one thing. I know you're asking because that's people's perception and interpretation of what is the one. People think it's so easy, bro. Like, if it was so easy, everyone would do it. And, what's easy to do is hard to live with. And what's hard to do is easy to live with. And to get to it, I think that people need to stop victimizing themselves. People play the victim, bro. My dad is a janitor, or I'm black, purple, orange, yellow, brown, whatever. Blah 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 blah. I didn't grow up here. My parents don't have money. People victimize themselves. That's why people think I'm an inspiration. I know I'm not better. I'm not greater. We're all the same. That's why we're all. I stay humble, bro. We gotta keep our head in the clouds and our feet on the ground, but. I want to represent possibility at the end of the day. When I die off this, even the other night, I stayed up for 3 hours in the middle of the night thinking about who am I, bro? Like, what do I want to do? And at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, billion-dollar companies, or even if I make $30 billion, bro, I don't really care, because some of the biggest billionaires died, and no one knows who they are, bro. They didn't really create a legacy. They just had a lot of money.
Sure.
So it's like, what do you really do with that money? It's like, I want to represent possibility. I want to push the envelope because it's a crazy universe. I really want to push it upon other people to go out there and push humanity and push it forward. But I think that people need to stop victimizing themselves. And like I talked about earlier in the episode, I think that people need to stop placing the blame. And I had to really switch this habitual habit. Our neurological pathways in our brain, people just, it's like a river. They keep embedding. And for years, 85% of human thoughts are fucking negative. So people sit there their whole entire life and play victim, and they always blame mom, they blame this, they blame their teacher. Even in this business, what do? My upline quit on me. Bro, become the upline, become the leader you're fucking looking for, bro. Stop blaming. We all have the same compensation plan. So how does someone who comes from Kensington or someone who comes from this posh town, how am I able to do this and they can't? They have a better background, they have more money, they have more resources. It's not about the resources, it's about being more resourceful. So people play such victims in situations, and the second that you stop, I swear, bro, it sounds so subtle and so simple. This was a huge change for me when I literally had to sit there and reptilian brain, you want to snap and start, yo, it's your fucking fault, man. When I would sit there and be like, yo, what could I have done differently, and what can I learn from this? People just take L's. It's like a meme. Yo, you took an L, bro. But what is that L to you? Is it a loss or a learning lesson, bro? And you have to fail forward. People just go through it. Everyone fucking fails, bro. Oh my days, the only difference between me and you, guys, I've almost made $10 million in my life coming up in the next few months. And the only difference between me and you, I was homeless. I didn't graduate high school. My GPA in high school was probably lower than my blood alcohol level, bro. I'm not the smartest. But what it was I was just willing to go out there and stop victimizing myself and put the blame on me. Now, there are situations where people are dum-dums, and yeah, it is other people's faults. But I look at every situation like, yo, even this, if something happened here, I'd be like, yo, I allowed myself to do this interview. I allowed my manager, who I hired, to book this hotel. Bro, how can I avoid this shit? And I think that everyone's just like, yo, fucking dude, idiot. Everyone wants to put the blame on other people, when it's like, man, if you can start just taking more of the blame for yourself as a leader, that's what leaders are. They take all the blame and they give all the credit. I forget who said this, but he said, at the end of the day, when people stop worrying about who gets the credit for things, that's when you start making power moves. So it's like, man, just give the credit away and take all the blame, man. That's what leaders do. So.
Man, this has been crazy.
For real.
Hold up. That's another wrap.
Yeah,
this is not the P150 training, bro.
No. But look, that's been another episode. We're blown away. As you can tell, me and Asim are overwhelmed by the richness of information right now. We hope you liked it too.